Welcome back to the UK Journeyman Save. In today's episode, we have two big tests in the Championship. We're away to Southampton and at home to Crystal Palace. We've got, as you can see, a run of a lot of former Premier League sides. Southampton, Palace, Fulham and Leicester after this. But as you can see, well, maybe you can't see. Actually, no, you can. We've done very, very well since we've come up. We are definitely the shock of the season. As you can see, the tactic we originally thought may have been broken by the new update, but it has not. So after we played the Blackpool game, we actually beat Norwich 3-1. Mahika, Mustafa and Thompson all scoring. We then lost to Plymouth, who were top of the league at the time, 2-0. We then beat Oxford United 3-0. Mustafa Trotman, the centre-half, and Ibrovic Fletcher getting a goal. We then rotated the side, as you can see, but we did go out in the League Cup to Crewe. We then had back-to-back wins in the league. Mustafa Bandakar and Ibrovic Fletcher beating Stoke 3-1, and then a 4-2 win with a hat-trick from Mahika and a goal from Thompson, and then 2 goals from Derby. But we did win 4-2, so that means we are currently top of the league. We're level on points with Sheffield United. Obviously, a couple of the sides have got a game in hand, so they could overtake us theoretically. But as it stands, we are top of the league. If we finish anywhere in the playoffs, that'll be massive. I think we would absolutely come straight back down from the Premier League. We are definitely not ready for the Premier League. We're barely ready for the Championship, but clearly we're doing okay. Season preview, we actually have gone up a little bit since we made some last-minute signings. And speaking of that, let's cover them. So we have made a couple of signings before the window shut. Let's go and talk about the exits. So I think we saw Jandira go out on loan. So Axel Twenzabe, he's left the club. Obviously, he joined us in League One, did pretty well. Played actually a lot of games, but a lot of those will have been as a sub. Yeah, 18 games as a sub. So he's left to Ross County. So he's going to Scotland. We got a little bit of money for him, but really it was just a nominal fee. We've then loaned out Irvin Osmani. We just have too many in that position. We have got too many strikers, too many wingers. So we've loaned them out to West Brom in League One. They're giving us 130k over the season, so we're making a little bit of money on him. Obviously, we signed him on a free. He was on pretty big wages as well at us, and they're paying like most of the wage and a monthly fee. So to be honest, I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully he goes out and actually improves, because he is someone, if we take another look at him, he's someone with some decent potential. He's got championship potential, so if he can do well in League One and improve, then he might come back to us an even better player. The last one out the door is Mohamed Jalali. Obviously, we signed him quite early as a free. He's probably not really good enough. He's a League Two player with championship potential. At only 22 years of age, though, he played a couple of games for us in the league. And then a couple in the cup. He didn't look great, so we've loaned him out to Dundee United for the season, where hopefully he'll get some games and start to improve, because there's another one with some potential. But we have signed 3 last players, so 3 out, 3 in. First one in is Reggie Walsh, a 23-year-old English defensive midfielder, can play the deep line or box to box. 4 stars of current abilities, already a championship player with Premier League potential. This is a huge signing. We've paid a lot of money for him, 24.5 grand a week, which I think goes up to 28.5 after 5 league games, so he will be on 28.5 pretty soon. He's got a big sell-on fee percentage and only a 20 mil release clause, but I imagine we'll hopefully be able to hold him and get him onto a new deal before any of that was to be activated. He's formerly of Chelsea's academy, spent time on loan in the Championship, went out on loan into the Liga at McDonald's. I didn't even know they were sponsored by McDonald's. Last season was on loan in the Championship with Preston, and he only played a few, but he's come in, he's done okay so far, but obviously he's getting up to fitness. But yeah, he looks really good. Lots of good current ability, lots of potential, so he's our new midfielder. Another one in the door is Adolfo Plaguizello. We actually tried to sign him last season on loan, couldn't manage to pull it off, but this season we've signed him for permanent fee of £600,000. I think some of that's in instalments, some up front. He's formerly of Leicester's academy, went out on loan a couple of times in League 2 and League 1, where he did okay, then went to Serie A for Roma on a free transfer, played a couple of games there, and has had a couple of loans out in the Championship last season. Didn't do too well. He came to us though, and yeah, it's obviously a position we needed. He can play right back. He's actually pretty strong on the left as well, so he can play right back or left back, so he's very good cover for a position we were previously quite weak in. He is only shown as a good League One player, but a 22-year-old, he's got plenty of potential to be a leading Championship player, so I think it's a decent signing for a pretty small fee. And the last one is Pedro Villa. He's a 20-year-old Peruvian right back or centre back. Being 6'6", you'd think he would be much more suited to centre half, because his crossing and dribble isn't great, but he can also play DM as well, so it'd be interesting to find. I actually think he wouldn't be a bad defensive midfielder, but to find he's kind of just going to be a utility player. He play left back, centre half, right back, DM. We're just going to play him everywhere and anywhere. At 6'6", 3 stars of current ability, so he's a decent championship player, but with 5-star potential, he's definitely someone we're going to get involved as much as we can. Hasn't actually played a professional game yet. We signed him from Alianza in Peru, but only 400k, and again, some of that was up front, some of that in installments. He's only on 4.3 grand a week as well, so great fee, small wage, good utility player. So that means the squad looks pretty good, and for our first game, this is the team we're going with to play Southampton. We've got Watmuff in goal, who's definitely not impressed. If we were to get promoted, we would have to improve on him. He's definitely not been worth the 1.1 million so far. But we're doing well, so I won't complain too much. We've got Pleguezuelo on the right. Bandekar, who's starting to definitely look a lot better. Probably not worth the 4.5 mil, but he certainly looks a lot better. Hopefully, with the improvement, with the potential, he can start to improve. With 20 jumping reach, he's still only scored once from a corner, which shows you how weak corners are this year. He's partnered up with Chai Trotman, who is, again, someone with 20 jumping reach. He has scored once as well from a second ball on a corner, so hopefully he can, again, start to get a couple more. With Stevenson at left back, I've found Hall isn't really a centre-half, I don't think. He's probably, he's kind of, I'm not really sure what to do with him. We have paid a good bit of money for him, and he is a permanent. So whether he plays as a left back, a right back, a centre half, I guess he's just going to be a bit of a utility player for everywhere, but we've probably overpaid a little bit for him. But midfield two of Molina and Walsh. Molina is starting to hit the ground running really nicely. He's improving as well, which is great to see. Hopefully they don't recall him because he's playing out of position. Newton on the right, Tynan Thompson on the left. I'll talk more about why he's in a second. And then Mahika and Ibrahimovic Fletcher, these are our front two. Now look at the return they've had. 5 goals, 3 goals, and then 3 for Thompson as well. Ramsey is not doing very well. He has not handled the step up to the championship well at all. He's played 4 games, no goals, no assists. I think the championship is too high for him. Mustafa's actually been our regular right wing. I've actually moved him up from DM to right winger, and he's actually done really well. He's just not fit for this game. So he's got 3 and 6 in the league and 1 assist as well. But he's just not fit for this game. So Newton comes in, who's not been great. I think we're already sort of identifying who the ones we may not move on in January, but move on next season. Prokop's lost his place as well now that we've got Pleguezuelo. Obviously, we've got Veyer in as well. So he's probably someone that's going to get recalled in January, because we've got Veyer, Pleguezuelo, and Hall, who can all play right back now, and Trotman, I guess. So it's really unlikely he's going to play. So at centre half, I'd still rather play Hall or even Veyer over Prokop, because they're our players. I want to improve them. And then at left back, we've got Hall, Pleguezuelo, and Stevenson. So in defence, we're much better covered. But Prokop really probably only suits a couple positions. He can play DM as well, but not really in either of the roles that we play. So again, he's not our player. He'll probably get recalled. But the other two, hopefully, we'll keep. And if we do lose Trotman, then we've got a couple other options at centre half. But he seems to have done quite well since he's come in. He's a bit more of a natural centre half, and he's definitely been a reason why we've had a good turn of form. So we've changed the side around a little bit, but we are ready to go. Pleguezuelo actually picked up an injury after his first game, so I think he's only played the once. I think he played once in the League Cup and then 1 league game and got injured. It was only for a couple of weeks, so he is back for the Southampton game. And these are 2 very big tests. Now, obviously, we've had quite a good start. 4 wins in 6, just the 1 loss as well. The draw on the opening day. But these are 2 big tests. Obviously, 2 former Premier League sides pretty recently, so we'll see how we get on. But we are away from home as well for this one, so we'll see how we get on. But I think the squad is definitely starting to take shape, and I think we are very much more a mid-table championship squad now. I think now that we've made a couple signings and sort of figured out where everyone's best position is, I think we might not be the finished product, but we are much closer to where we want to be. Molina with a free kick from distance, well saved by the Southampton goalkeeper. But realistically, we're just taking it 1 game at a time. I'm not really looking at the table too much. I think we probably are in a bit of a false position. I think we've had a little bit of an easy run in. I don't think we've had too many big clubs. Blackburn were obviously a team below us and we only drew with them. I think beating Norwich was quite good there. Obviously a team you would expect to do well. But obviously I'm going off basically the knowledge of what I think of the teams now, not necessarily how they are now. That's a great ball over the top to Ibrahimovic Fletcher. He can finish, and I think he's onside. They were calling for it. I don't know if he is going to be onside. He is offside. That's a shame. I thought he'd held his run really well there. But it was a great ball from Mahika. who's very much adapted to the Championship. He got a hat-trick in his last game, so he's very much adapted to it. But yeah, we played Derby, who not great. Oxford United aren't a massive side, so we've definitely had a little bit of an easy run in. That's a great ball back to Mahika. Should have been getting that across to Ibrahimovic Fletcher first time, but Pleguezuelo can pick it up. And now Molina into Walsh, into Thompson. We're moving the ball well. Walsh into Molina. Molina feeds through into Mahika, and Shamira Mahika scores. It was only a matter of time. We have definitely been on top of this game. It's 6-7 for Mahika. He must have... He's gonna have a swarm of Premier League clubs surrounding him because he's scored loads in League One and now he's scoring nearly a goal a game in the Championship. He's got to have a Premier League interest in him, and I don't really want to sell him. We've got money in the bank now. We've got about 7 million in the bank. We don't need to sell anyone. Obviously, selling, I think, Yalkoi in the summer was probably the best bit of business we've done in the series so far because it allowed us to sign all these new players. And I think that one sale allowed us to basically increase the wage of all of the players. We didn't really have the wage budget available, but selling him and putting all that money in wage, we've been able to sign actual players for money as well. So I think we're very much I think we're in a great place. So realistically, if we keep this up, I mean, could we get promoted this year? It feels too early to say it, but we're doing very well. I'm shocked how well we're doing. I thought we'd very much be struggling because the gap from League One to Championship is usually quite big. But whether we've just cooked in the transfer window, I don't know. But we're seemingly doing very, very well. 2-0 up against Southampton. I didn't actually check to see where they were at the start of the episode, so maybe they have fell off a little bit. Obviously, there's a couple of players here I recognise, like Cheeto Obi and Brendan Aronson. Don't know too many. I think Montgomery, was he someone we had? I think we had Tim Montgomery, didn't we, at some point? Yeah, we loaned him in League One, and he didn't really... I think he got recalled because we were playing him out of position, so we definitely know him. I don't really know the rest of them. That is still Brendan Aronson. Only 31. He must be younger than I think in real life. Cheeto, I mean, looking at the star ratings, like someone like him is probably better than the strikers we have. But like Brendan Aronson, he's 3.5 stars. If you compare that to, say, our left winger, Tynan Thompson's 3.5 stars. So I guess we're not as far off a Championship squad as I would expect. Southampton are currently mid-table, so they're an okay side. So this is definitely not a false position. I think we're just a good side. We do concede goals. I think that's pretty obvious. I think but since we've got rid of Hall at centre half, with Trotman coming in, it definitely seems to have improved as we're a bit more stable. I think Hall was probably not a proper centre half. Mahika plays Ibrahimovic Fletcher over the top. He's got to be offside there. It's a brilliant finish. He's got to be offside though. That's 2 offside goals. He can finish the boy. He just can't stay onside. We've got a lot of tired legs though. We have played a lot of games in quick succession, so we'll have to bring. Unfortunately, Mahika's going to have to actually come off. What I'm going to do is bring Greenwood on. And I guess just leave it there. I think that's probably his best position anyway. We'll take Molina off. We'll bring Lindores on. He's not a forgotten man, but a little bit forgotten. We'll bring Hall on at left back as well. And we'll bring Vea on for his debut for Pleguezuelo. Obviously, 2 boys that are kind of out of the team a little bit in Hall and Vea, but they can definitely get themselves in the side. Obviously, Trotman, that's the position that you want to be fighting for because realistically, he's alone. He's not going to be here forever. And as the season goes on, I want to phase out the loans. You want to involve your own players as much. So as much as I love Molina and as much as I quite like Trotman so far, ideally by the end of the season, those would be people out of the squad and we'd have some of our own players in. But yeah, Newton's definitely not impressed so far. I know we're obviously doing really well, but just on an individual basis, he's definitely been one of the weaker players. We will take someone else off. We've made 4 subs. We've got Prokop and Ramsey to come on. Obviously, Mustafa's not really fit. So I guess we probably just bring Prokop on. We'll bring him on for Trotman. He actually shows up quite well as a centre-half. So maybe I know, I've not really liked Prokop so far, but that was as a right-back. So maybe he is a centre-half. He's probably our next best option. So I guess he will probably play more than I was thinking. Looks like Greenwood's picked up a knock, but we're all out of subs. So he's going to have to see it out. But this is, so far, been very much a run-of-the-mill game for us. We're definitely a good side. Newton with the free kick. He actually pulled off a decent save, the Southampton keeper. Hall whips it back in. Prokop's there. Not quite the same jump and reach ability as the likes of Bandikar and Trotman, but nevertheless a decent effort. Still 2-0, and we've definitely, since we've made the changes, still look pretty good at the back. Obviously, Pleguezuelo is probably not Championship ready, but I think he's got potential, and Vea's another one. They've both got potential. I don't really know Vea's best position. He's definitely not a wing back like we're playing him, but he's probably not good enough to be our centre half. It worries me. I'd rather play him as a right back. I think, like I say, he's going to be a squad player. And if he gets better, then he gets better. If he doesn't, it's not the end of the world. We didn't pay too much for him. We'll probably be able to move him on for money anyway. But it's too early to tell with him. But that's another win. And we are on a massive winning run. That's 5-7 now. There's no way we win the league. There's no way we get automatic promotion. No, I think it's very unlikely we win the league or get automatic promotion, but it's definitely not out of the question we could get playoffs. Whether we've just had an easy run or we're just having a good start, I don't know. But I guess we'll know more once we're around 20 games in where we're going to finish. But honestly, we're doing very, very well. And as much as I think we're not ready for the Premier League, if we get promoted, it's financially a different world. The amount of money we'd get from TV alone would be enough to justify it, because at that point you then at least have the money to then bounce back. So I've done it before where we've got promoted too early, but then you just don't spend a lot in the Premier League season. Like, just minimize your spending and try not. So the one thing you usually end up trying to do is sign too many expensive players. Usually I just try and use the reputation to sign wonderkid type of players who are like, oh, well, I'll join the Premier League side. They wouldn't dare join you in the Championship, but in the Premier League, they'll join you. And you're only spending a couple mil per wonderkid. And then you get relegated. They get loads of game time in the Championship. And then they get better. And then next time you come up to the Prem, you're actually 4 windows ahead with your young kids. So that's, I guess, the plan. But realistically, we're just taking it a game at a time. We may not even end up in the top 6. Playoffs would be amazing. If we got playoffs, I'd be very, very happy. If you offered me that now, I know that seems daft because we're top now, but obviously I think a couple of teams are going to start improving. Obviously QPR look like they're having a good season, but yeah, I'm waffling. Let's go play Palace. That's another big test. They've had an okay start, not a great start. The other thing to keep in mind is with us doing so well, we might get a Premier League offer. And as much as I'm enjoying my time at Mansfield, if we were to get a big Premier League side come in, it's a no-brainer because our budgets aren't huge. We're spending about 300, so we got about 360k. It's not a huge budget in the wage. So if we were to obviously get a big Premier League job, which there isn't any at the minute, but if you look at something, I guess there's nothing really precarious in the Premier League so far. I mean, someone like Arsenal, obviously, even just like a Villa, it's a different world. Any of these clubs in the Prem are spending way more than us. So it's a different world if you get an offer like this. But nevertheless, we'll ignore that. We're focused on Mansfield. Let's go play Palace. So for the second game, we are playing Palace. It's the same 11. The only difference is Mustafa comes back in as he's got his match fitness for Newerton. Other than that, it is the same 11. And this is another chance for us to really prove ourselves. Obviously, we're keeping clean sheets now. We're conceding less goals, which is great. We seem to have 2 strikers who are very much in form. I wasn't 100% sure who was going to partner up with Mahika. I wasn't 100% sure that Mahika was going to handle the step up to the Championship very well. But honestly, he's done very, very well. As you can see, we've got the Palace side. Really, I know Uche. Again, we're so far into the. I mean, they're down in 9th. This is another chance. We're top of the table. It's it's another chance for us to do well. Yeah, I don't know. We're obviously quite far into the save now. I don't even know what season we're in. Season 7, Season 8, something like that. So it's definitely different sides. Obviously, there's a couple players in there I probably know. I don't really know a lot of them. I'm guessing a lot of these are youngsters / regens at this point. But yeah, it's very interesting. But anyway, early chance for us. We are at home as well, so you never know. We could actually get ourselves off to a good result. I don't know how long Palace have been outside of the Premier League, but clearly they're not a bad side because that was a brilliant ball over the top. Watmuff doesn't really... I'm being harsh. He doesn't do enough there, I don't think, though. He should be coming out, probably trying to get a bit closer to it. This is the problem with us. We are not the quickest. We don't have the quickest centre-half pairing. So they're very big. They're not the quickest. So a ball over the top tends to kind of do them in. If they've got a fast striker, it really does them in. But stats-wise, we're looking okay. Yeah, we are a little bit suspect at the back, but I'm not going to judge it too hard. We're not the finished article. We obviously know these lads are going to get better. And the good thing is as well, it's quite a young side. So basically, the signings we've made now are going to last us. They're going to last us a few seasons at least, because they're going to get better. And even if we don't make new signings, if we were to get to the Premier League, obviously most of these lads are Championship. Some of them are even League One ability. Mahika's a Premier League striker. I'm sorry. There's a Premier League striker in here. He is lethal. We've not had a player be this good in front of goal. 1-1 now. But yeah, I mean, a few of these I think could make the step up to the Premier League. I think Mahika can play in the Prem. I 100% think he can play in the Prem. I think Molina can play in the Prem. I think Walsh can play in the Prem. It's more the goalkeeper, the back line, whether Stevenson could maybe be a Prem player. But obviously, at the very least, or at the very most, we'd be just hoping to stay up. So is this team good enough to stay up? I don't know. The benefit of doing well in your league is all the dynamics and stuff that comes with that. So all your players actually get better just by winning games. Whereas when you're in a relegation scrap, because we'd be at a point where we're losing a lot of games, we wouldn't have that extra. It's almost like a bonus, like a stat bonus. The better you are, the players actually play better, even if they're not, like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're at their best. Whereas when they're not doing very well, they're at their sort of middle. And when you're losing a lot of games, you actually get all your players at your worst. So it's harder. It's definitely harder to. Trotman. Corners are definitely not very good this year. Like, it's definitely a weak point. If we had FM24's corners with these two centre-halves, we'd be scoring. They'd get a goal a game. At least one of them would get a goal a game. Because they've got 20 jumping reach. Like, it was massively overpowered. But I actually think they've undershot it. I think players like this should be scoring more often. Obviously, they've got one so far each, which I guess in 8 games isn't that low. But, yeah, they haven't played Trotman hasn't played every game. Bandikar has. But nevertheless, it is still 1-1. If we get a draw here, I'll be happy with this. Like I say, it's I'm kind of just taking it one game at a time and then seeing where we finish up. But if we can keep it going, I mean, I don't want us to lose games. I don't want us to draw games. But I'm just being realistic. I don't think we are a Premier League side. I don't think we're a team that should be getting promoted from this league. But clearly, we're doing very well, and we've obviously got a tactic and everything that's working for the team we've got. So I don't really want to change anything. That's the problem. Is I don't want to. Obviously, we've got Molina and Mustafa who are better as 10s. I feel like I'm doing a lot of waffling today. I haven't done a packet. I'm just very excited about how well we're doing. Yeah, I don't know. It's like maybe we should be playing with 10s because they suit being a 10. But we've got a system that works. We've got players that are thriving in it. So I don't really want to change it just for the sake of fitting in a couple of players in their best positions. We're obviously doing really well. We're top of the league. Don't really need to mess with it. And like I say, there is a couple of weak points. Predominantly at centre-half. Tynan Thompson probably has to do better there. I think we need a really good left winger. I think he'd probably be someone that wouldn't cut it in the Championship. As much as someone like Ramsey was doing really well in League One, he hasn't really cut it in the Championship. There's a couple here that I think if they were to get into the Premier League, the likes of maybe Stevenson, maybe Thompson, players like that. Yeah, and obviously our squad players, like someone like Lindores would be awful in the Premier League. So I don't know what we'll do if we go up. But that's also a bridge we're going to cross later. At the minute, we just need to focus on winning games of football. We just need to focus on doing well. And so far, we are doing that. Thompson's not having a great game. Walsh is also pretty tired. So we'll take Lindores on for Walsh. And I guess we'll bring Ramsey on. Obviously, we need to give him a chance. He's only played a couple games so far and not done very well. But there is still a player there, and he's definitely someone we can bring on. But I do prefer Thompson so far. They would like to have brought Veer on, but it doesn't feel like the game for him. We probably need to keep someone like Pleguezello out there because he's a little bit quicker. That's poor from Mustafa. He's got to do better. We obviously could bring Newton on. We've got Greenwood on the bench as well. He's probably someone that it's a decent effort from Ibrahimovic Fletcher, but it's over. He's someone that's probably going to lose his place as time goes on. Mahika's looking pretty tired. But yeah, there's a few names in here where I think if he got promoted, there's no chance they'd do well. Molina's pretty tired. We don't really have another DM. I guess we could bring Prokop on, but I don't like the sound of that. Pleguezello is pretty tired, so I guess we'll bring Hall on at right back and see how he does there. Like I say, he's very much our go-to utility man. He can play left back, right back, centre half. He is the defensive utility man. Whether he does well there, I don't know. Pleguezello with a good interception. Obviously, the subs haven't gone through yet. And Mahika's got on the end of it as well. Can he find Greenwood in the middle? No, Ibrahimovic Fletcher in the middle because the subs haven't gone through. Ramsey from distance. Oh, I was slagging him off, and that's a fantastic finish. Okay, they didn't want to show the celebration. Clearly, the Crystal Palace admins in charge of the highlights. He was not happy with that. Barely showed the celebration. But Aaron Ramsey, that's a brilliant finish from him. And it's Mansfield 2, Palace 1. But Palace straight back on the attack. Swing one in. Well cleared from Hall. And now Mustafa can start the counter. We've got fresh legs on. Played into Greenwood. Off the bench. Greenwood. Oh, he can't finish. And that is Greenwood down to a T. I think he's pretty quick, but he's not the best finisher. It's great attack, counter-attack and play, though. We will have one last sub. I guess we probably bring Veer on. What we'll do is we'll move Hall out to left back. We'll bring Veer on at right back. And the rest of the boys will have to just suffer for the last 15 minutes. I know we've got a few tired legs out there. Mustafa, Molina, Trotman, Bandikar. Not sure why our centre-backs are getting so tired. I've never noticed centre-backs get so tired. Centre-backs are usually the position that always just stays fit because they don't do a lot of running. And I don't think they are doing a lot of running, so I'm not sure why they're getting so tired. But I definitely think this year they're harsher with fitness and things like that. That's a ball over the top. Bandicart has not dealt with it. And it's that Rota with a second. Palace 2, Mansfield 2. This is a weak point for these centre-halves, is balls over the top. They do not deal with them. He should be getting closer. He should be staying tighter and getting in, heading that straight out. But as soon as they get the run on them, they're Dunyan rings. Like, they're not getting to it. They're just not quick enough. And I feel harsh for Watmouth because he's getting lower ratings, but could he have really done anything about either of those two goals? I don't think a better goalkeeper saves them. I think he's just a good finisher, this Rota. And we've just been done in. 2-2 now. And it looks like it's going to be a draw unless Palace get themselves a late goal. Bandicart not doing very well again, being done in again. That one's on Watmouth. He should save that. It's Palace 3, Mansfield 2. Watmouth's got to save that. He's not great. Do we bring Sharman Lowe back in? Because honestly, I'm not being impressed with Watmouth whatsoever. We did bring Sharman Lowe in for the Crew game in the League Cup, and he actually conceded 2 goals to them, and they're not very good. So I guess we kind of just have to persist with Watmouth, but there does get to a point where I think, yeah, he's not really up to it. Oh, what a little Irish hero, Michael Lindores, when all hope had been lost. Ramsey with the assist, and fair play to Ramsey, I was slagging him off. He's came on and got a goal and assist. Lindores, what a finish. That is first time, top bins. He's levelled the game up and it keeps our unbeaten run going. We obviously have lost 1, but since then we've gone on a very nice unbeaten run. And when all was lost, I mean, we were a much better side. We've just got a goalkeeper who can't keep them out. But yeah, I think we're a goalkeeper away from being a very, very good side. I think Watmouth was a poor signing. I think that's fair to say. But we've done very well there. We've done well to get the points. I think, honestly, in another day, we get 3 there. Because Rota, that third effort from Rota should have been saved. And we've done well. We've had a couple of wonder goals in there as well, to be for ourselves as well. But yeah, overall, that does put us down to second. But we're not worried about that at all. I think that's a great result. And I think we're in a great place. We've got one of the best goal difference in the league. We're not getting relegated. I think that's the good news. Is so far we look far too good to be going down. So it looks like we are going to be at least solidify ourselves as a decent championship side. I mean, if we can finish top 6, I'd take it right now. But we have got some big games coming up. We've got Fulham. We've got Leicester. We've got some very big games. Don't really know where to come back for. Wigan and Preston, these lot are definitely down the bottom end of the league. Well, Burnley are top now. Obviously, by then, they might not be top. Burnley, QPR, Sheffield United, Luton. Where is Swansea? Swansea are, 19th. We won't play them on camera. You know what? I think Burnley, Luton. I think that's a good place to come back. They're 2 teams. Yeah, 2 teams in the top 6. And that's where we want to be. Let's not mess around. Let's go do it. So, well, like I say, we'll play from Fulham down to Swansea off camera. Obviously, we're out the window, so there's not going to be any transfer business. Don't think there'll be any cup business as well. The FA Cup comes in around January. Now we're in the Championship. It might even be a bit later as well in January. We're out the League Cup, so we don't really have anything else. There's no crap cup at this level as well, which is brilliant. No Virtu Trophy nonsense. So we avoid that. So yeah, let's come back for Burnley Luton. Obviously, we want to get through the seasons, but we don't want to go too far ahead. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 games. It's a little bit. It's a lot of games, but I think that's fine. And we'll obviously have a much better idea of where we're going to be this season after we play these games off camera. So we'll come back for Burnley Luton next episode. But I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all for more very soon.